Canada's industry minister says he's taking action to ensure all TTC riders have wireless service from all providers as soon as possible. Francois-Philippe Champagne says there has been limited progress on reaching an agreement between Rogers and other carriers and is directing his department to launch an expedited consultation process to ensure coverage is available as soon as technically feasible. A spokesperson for Bell, the parent company of CP24, says the company has been advocating for a joint model for wireless service in the TTC for over a decade. Well, a TELUS statement says we are encouraged to see an expedited timeline on the consultation announced today, and we remain ready and eager to find a path to delivering the best service for all TTC riders as quickly as possible. Well, a statement from Rogers reads in part, we proposed a framework to get the deal done by the summer. We offered to give Bell and TELUS access to the network by early fall if we couldn't reach commercial terms, which Bell and TELUS did not accept. We will participate in the consultation while we continue to do what's right for Toronto and transit riders, working with the TTC to stabilize the aging cellular network, improve the reliability of 911 services, and bring 5G to riders. Well, for more on this, we are joined live by Liberal MP Julie Jurewicz. She's representing the Davenport riding. Thank you so much for joining us. You know, just before you joined us, I was speaking with an advocate for TTC riders, and this is, you know, having wireless service and Wi-Fi in the system is something that, you know, not only TTC riders, you know, deserve, but it's something that has just been, it's been happening all over the world. And obviously this is very frustrating. Tell us a little bit about the federal government's role in trying to expedite this process, and what are you hoping to see in the weeks and months to come?
So first, Jamie, it's a real pleasure for me to be here. And you're right, it's 2023, and it seems a little bit incredible that we don't have reliable cell service in our stations, in our subway system. They have it in Montreal, they have it in Vancouver, and as you said, they have it all around the world. Why is it that we don't have it here now? And this whole issue has come to head for a couple of reasons. One is we've had some safety issues on the subway, and it's been a real big concern. People don't feel safe if they're not able to call 911 or to figure out, you know, how do they know if there's an emergency at a station or where to stay away? And so that's why it's come to head. And while the federal government prefers not to get involved, we prefer companies to get together, figure out how they can work together for the public good. Unfortunately, this time, our federal government and our Minister of Innovation, Francois-Philippe Champagne, yesterday put out a statement to say that he's asked for expedited consultations, public consultations on what are the restrictions we have to put on wireless licenses in order to ensure that people in Toronto have access to reliable wireless services in the subway and in their stations.
Do you feel that the federal government is just feeling this sense of urgency from, you know, the riders and what's been playing out in our transit system, not only with the, you know, unprovoked attacks, but even, you know, today we're reporting on a mass a train derailment. Do you get the sense that there's just the federal government had to step in to try and get these, you know, big telecom companies to work together to get a deal? Because it's been several months and there still hasn't been an agreement put in place.
Well, you're right on that. So I'm a born and bred downtown Torontonian, and I'll tell you, the TTC has been my lifeline as a kid and growing up. And so people really love their Toronto transit service. But after the pandemic, somehow something happened. As ridership was coming back, there started to be some feelings of unsafety and incidences on the TTC. A few months ago, the members of Parliament in the Toronto area approached our Minister of Innovation. We said, look, we need to do something to compel the telecommunication companies in in Canada to actually come together and make sure that they're offering these wireless services. So you're right. Because there's been a number of more safety incidences, and the derailment is one. I think there was a stabbing of a teenager just yesterday on the TTC again. I think people get worried. They want to use the transit system, the Toronto transit system. They feel safe for the most part. But if the companies are going to get together and do it themselves, which the minister asked them to do so a few months ago, we prefer not to step in. So he came in, he says, look, get together, come up with a way forward, whether it's a fair access agreement, whether it's a joint build agreement. It is up to you to decide that. They did not do that, and so the minister said, that is it. We're now going to do an expedited public consultation. It's not only that he wants to do it quickly, but he also wants to be able to put the restrictions on their licenses soon, because it's important that we deliver or have the service available as soon as possible.
We know he wants to see it as technically feasible as soon as possible. Obviously, it's not something that happens overnight, but clearly people want to see something done as soon as possible. MP Julie Jurewicz, thank you so much for joining us on CB24 Live at noon.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Appreciate your time.